Hey folks, it's Cornell with YouTube Fishing Vids, and I am literally up the creek without a paddle because I don't need one. I've got a 200 horsepower Merc behind me because Paul's got me out on his boat up a creek off the James River. It's a beautiful Friday, incredible weather in mid-July, no humidity, barely 85 degrees, and tomorrow is the fourth stop on my FLW BFL Shenandoah Division tournaments here on the James River. I'm extremely excited about it. I'm currently 5th in the division right now. I did really well in the last tournament on Kerr, or Bugs Island as some people like to call it. Placed 6th in that tournament, and now I'm looking forward to hopefully another day tomorrow. But even more exciting, this video is sponsored from the folks that brought you Mystery Tackle Box. Carl's Bait and Tackle is now live. Guys, I'm telling you, Mystery Tackle Box has been a great sponsor of mine for a long time. There's a lot of growth going on, and now they've got this new e-commerce website. It's basically like your local bait and tackle shop, but online. So here's the deal. You sign up with Carl's Bait and Tackle. It's basically like the Costco of fishing tackle. I know when I run out to Costco, I've got a membership. I pay an annual fee and I get crazy discounted prices on my milk and eggs and everyday needs. It's the same concept with this website. I know personally I'm shopping for bait and tackle as much as I'm shopping for groceries. So if you love Mystery Tackle Box and you're a subscriber and a big fan, or if you just never chose to get yourself a subscription, you like to get things one by one, or you like to just pick and choose what you want, now you've got the option to go to Carl's Bait and Tackle and shop till you drop. 30% off on average, near wholesale prices, new things being brought in every day. And I'm telling you guys, just go check out the website. I'm gonna leave the link in the description below. It's a $99 annual membership fee, but for your first purchase, your entire purchase will be 50% off. Plus for new members, that annual fee is gonna be at $59. So guys, it's one of those kind of things that if you check it out and it works for you, it's there and waiting. Just click the link below. And the most important part is that I'm gonna leave another link down there for the sweepstakes. There's a $500 shopping spree available to you guys just for signing up for email updates. So go check out both sites. You got to go to shopcarls.com, and you also got to go check out the link I left below for the sweepstake and check it all out. So here's what we're going to do. I've got my Mystery Tackle Box Pro Box out here on the James River. I'm going to do an unboxing, potentially fish. I don't know, it's a practice day. There's a bunch of stuff in this box right now that I know will work on the James River. It's a unique situation today. You know, there's a lot of learning and a lot of different ups and downs when it comes to practice. So I'm gonna break this open and just show you what's in the box this month, and maybe use a couple of them. Let's just see what we can do, and let's break it open right now. All right, folks, so I got my chesty going here. I'm not gonna ask Paul up there, who's trying to do a little fishing and practicing, to hold my handheld GoPro, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this with the chesty, make sure the light is right, and we're gonna check out what's inside the box. All right, guys, let's go through this one by one. The very first one on the list is the Booyah Boss Pop. Check out the Boss Pop. Great little popper with a little lip on its chin, a little diving lip. So you're basically gonna get the popping effect of a popper, and the lip is gonna give you kind of a shallow diving popping effect. So I love the Booyah poppers. I've got the Boss Pop, got that out of one of my Mystery Tackle Box and absolutely killed it in a little bluegill pattern earlier in the spring during the pre-spawn. So Booyah poppers, and now a prank style popper is going to be an absolutely fun option, so we'll see how that goes. All right, now what do we have? We've got a Dobbins swim bait heads. So Dobbins, that killer rod company, came out with some really good looking 3/8 ounce swim bait heads. So those swim bait heads are going to be awesome. So we got something like that to work with any number of different kind of swim baits that we might want to throw onto it. So that's one of the other baits. What's next? We've got the Big O Game Changer. The Big O Game Changer is a big old bag here too. I think it's down here on the bottom. Big O Game Changer Lures, the Eliminator. Now I've seen these out there before. Big curly-tailed, fat-bodied, frog-style, potentially topwater bait, something you could buzz across the surface, and I know a lot of guys like to Carolina rig these also. Just a great soft plastic, really unique looks, showing them something different. So great option there. And then what else do we have here? We've got the Lucky John, the Wacky Hammer Stick. Now this is the one I really love because you know I'm a big drop shot fan. Look at that awesome looking little drop shot bait. A lot of different ways you can probably fish that, but ideally for me that's going to be a drop shot bait, and boy, I have killed it out on the James drop shotting. And it's not always the clearest body of water, but a little power shotting and some sunken wood and some of the edges of these grass, a drop shot can still kill them out here on the James, so that could be a really great option. Then we've got, let's see, the Prop Frog by Lunker Hunt. Look at this thing. Again, top water, anything, and definitely frogs on the James River. That's a prop style. The little legs on it have twin little prop style feet So it's kind of like a little whopper plopper with a frog body, weedless. And God, that's gonna be a really interesting idea. So there's a really great topwater bait by Lunker Hunt. Then we've got a Big Bite Baits Fighting Frog, guys, flipping on the James. You kidding me? Check out that color. Black blue flake sapphire. That's a beautiful color. Flipping all day long on the James. There's all kinds of grass and weeds and wood and always pads around this area. So that's a really great one by Big Bite Baits. Okay, last one out of the box, a mustad bucktail. Now that's kind of interesting. You'll usually see those out on the saltwater options, and that's certainly something that goes across the board. Saltwater, freshwater, all kinds of things that a bucktail jig like this can work for. Emulate shad beautifully. So folks, that's a killer box, and there's a lot of things in there that can work out here on the James. It is a practice day. I'm going to do what I can to work out all these baits that I just threw out there on the floor and see what I can come up with and see if any of those catch anything. But again, practice day on the James River. Stay tuned. Paul, you ready to catch them?
Absolutely.
All right, Paul already caught one. He was actually mixing it up, and he actually got himself about a 2-pounder a little bit ago, so it's my turn. Let's get fishing. So it's a little later in the morning out here on the James River, and I know what I need to do to catch some fish out here, but I really want to fish some of the baits out of this box. I'm telling you right now, the 3 baits that I know I'm going to work out the best are going to be this, it's going to be this Big Bite Baits, little flipping bait. I'm going to definitely do a little drop shot with the hammer stick by Lucky John, and I'm definitely going to throw on that little prank. So any little shade pocket, the water's standing all day long with a little popper like this on the James, or any the little tributaries leading up and out of the James. That's going to be a really great option. So I'm going to rig all those up on the equipment that I've had here on the boat that'll match them up just right with, and we're going to get going. All right, guys, check it out. There's that little Lucky John hammer stick. It's time to do a little drop shotting, because the James River is a tidal river. It's a tough fishery when the water goes slack, and guys, we have a low slack tide. Literally, the water's barely moving. So check it out. We've got all this great cover. I've got a little bit heavier line here, but I've got the hammer stick on a short leader. Look how short that leader is. I'm gonna get that bait as close to the bottom as I can, throw it in this wood, and look at the way it's set up. This is a great little, this is actually a Nico or a Nako rig hook, and I set that up with my hammer stick because it's the perfect way to go. It's got a big bite on it, and I can nose hook this and bury the hook in the meat, so I'm not going to get snagged up as much. With such a small bait like that, you know, Texas rigging, it just won't give it all the action that it could get. So I got that rigged up just like so we get all that crazy action out of it. So we're going to dip this in the James River right here on a low slack tide and get right up against some of these trees and right up in some of this cover. As Paul rigs up right there and he's off the trolling motor, the water is moving just a tiny bit. It's just barely coming in. So we got an incoming tide here in the morning. It's probably about 7:30 in the morning, I'm guessing. And hopefully the fishing will be on. I just know on a practice day like this, I'm not feeling like using any of these baits out of the mystery tackle box is going to be a worry, because all of these baits will work. They'll all help us locate fish, and that's really all we're trying to do. We're not trying to do a slam today, guys. We're not trying to fish every one of the baits out of that mystery tackle box. I'm glad and happy to show it off and definitely introduce you to the fact that there's a new website to check out with mystery tackle box and Carl's Bait and Tackle. But guys, we got to learn something today, because tomorrow's a big deal. I've caught a 5-fish limit in the first 3 tournaments of this division, in the Shenandoah division for the FLW BFLs, and I'm trying to keep that streak alive. So hopefully we'll pull off another 5-fish limit tomorrow, and we'll have a really good, hopefully a check to show for it. So I'm drop shotting around the edges of this wood while Paul's flipping. You know, I've got that great Big Bite Baits I can flip in there also, but between the two of us, we're going to see if these fish need something a little more finessey during a slow incoming tide, or if they're going to eat something a little bit bigger like what Paul's throwing. So we're covering all bases, partnering up here, trying to understand what we're going to have to do tomorrow. I'll be paired up with whoever I'm paired up with, just kind of going by what they choose to do and where they choose to go, and Paul's hopefully going to figure out something and make it happen here. And yes, a drop shot's perfectly fine to throw in this kind of cover. If you got a little beefed up line and shorten up your leader a little bit, you're just basically dangling that little Lucky John bait right in front of their nose, and that's sometimes the ticket, especially as a co-angler. So it's a no-brainer to throw itty-bitty little baits behind your boater and hopefully pick up any extra fish that he didn't catch, or maybe even catch some of the fish that he didn't get in the first place. All right, fellas, I'm still drop shotting the edges of this wood here. Lots of cover, lots of great cover. Still a slow incoming tide. Paul hasn't gotten a bite on his bait, and that's the way tidal rivers go sometimes. It's a short window of activity when these fish really turn on. So hopefully we're going to be in the right place at the right time when it happens. But in the meantime, I think this finesse technique is probably one of the better ways to go. We'll just keep on plugging and hopefully get a fish here in the boat in a minute. All right, guys, so Paul is making his way across the creek. We're gonna go over back to some vegetation versus wood. So we gave that a little effort, nothing popping out of the wood. And Paul's first fish today was probably about a 2.5 pounder on a little itty bitty little ringworm. Again, kind of finesse. It was really slack, pretty much slack low tide. So he had something really small that he just swam right in front of a little fish off a point, right in the green stuff. So that's where we're going. We're gonna go over here and flip some of these pads and some of these reed type greenery. So hang tight. Okay, folks, we're making a move. We're gonna get around the bend here and see if we can find some fish in the grass. We're kind of fishing here in reeds and pads and wood. We're gonna actually get into some heavier grass and see what we can do. Guys, I got a little bit of open water over here. I got a great little point. Just made a little move, like we said. And guys, I gotta try out that little booyah prank. That thing is so awesome. That point is calling to me. Water's a little clearer over here. And check out my setup. I've got a Shaky Head Special lose rod. This is a custom speed stick, straight 15-pound test braid on a little popper like that. This is absolutely an incredible setup. It's just a 7-foot medium fast action rod, and it's absolutely the way to go with small little poppers, at least for me. I could throw these things so far, and as a co-angler, getting a really far casting getting really good casting distance is really important. Sometimes you need to get just a little bit farther than your boater, or maybe get something a little bit smaller way out there in a spot where the water hasn't been touched, and that's what I'm doing here. So let's see if this little prank does something. It's so cool. It's actually diving, it's popping, and then it dives just under the surface. Really neat action. I've never seen it in action. I've heard about the bait, but now I got one. All right, let's see what this prank's gonna pull off. Oh wow, check that thing out. All right guys, check it out. See if you can see that in the water. Looks really, it goes down about 1 foot, and it's got really good swimming action actually with a little lip on it like that. It really gets down, so if you give it a little pop, it gives you your popping effect. And if you just swim it a little bit under the surface, it's got its little swimming action going on. That's pretty cool. Guys, I'm telling you right now, that little bait right there is absolutely awesome. It has great action, great swimming action. I love it. It's just bright out here. It's just really bright. I don't see much topwater activity, and I've got a flipping bait to throw. I really want to throw that big bite baits right in this cover right here. This place is just perfect for flipping situation. There's a little breeze, so Paul's out here throwing a spinner bait. So let me get that big bite baits deal out here and throw that on my little flipping stick and see what we can come up with on the edges. There we go. Oh, did he get it and take me into the reeds? He sure did, Paul. He took me right into the reeds. Let me see if I can get him again. Ready? Slow down a second. Hold on. He crushed it right there. He was right about there. Oh, he smoked it, dude. He took me right into the reeds and got me locked up. Can't believe it. Guys, the tide's getting ready. It looks like there's a lot of topwater activity going on over here. So I'm going to go back to this little prank by Booyah and see if I can get one of these fish to come up and eat mine, because they are popping everywhere right now. All right, put up that popper. I'll go back to that if I see some more activity. I'm gonna go back to a little flipping here since I'm right on top of this cover with my boy Paul. No bites yet. We're just hoping that tide turns, and when that tide turns just right, the bite usually turns on. So we're staying focused. All right, folks, as I mentioned, it is practice day, so that mystery tackle box is loaded. It's got some great baits, but check this out. That is my favorite vibrating jig. It's the Finch Nasty's Thumper. I got that out of a mystery tackle box also, and then I was introduced to that thankfully, and now it's truly one of my favorite vibrating jigs. It just absolutely hunts beautifully. I lost him, but I smacked a big tiger muskie on it. Caught tons of big bass, even caught a big bowfin on this thing. So this thing catches them. Let's just throw this around a little bit. The conditions are right for some moving baits. Let's just see if that does anything for us out here on the James. Back to the drop shot, guys. I got some great cover here. I've actually fished this area of the river before. I've actually caught a limit on this bank alone as a co-angler last year. So hopefully we're gonna see if they're still here, and hopefully we'll learn something, but I'm really anxious to catch a fish. It's been a little while. The tide is just about right. We're leading up to a high tide from what I can tell. So right into the cover goes the drop shot. Nice. There's a dink. Yeah, that's not even a keeper. Can you believe that? It might be a sign though. Guys, we have been struggling and the tide should be about right about now. And finally, a dinky little bass.
A little dink. Go back and tell me where your buddy is.
Yeah, Paul finally pulled off a dink on a little ringworm style deal, just as finesse as you can get. Great concept if you're really having a tough day out here in the James, those little ringworms. But yeah, it's brutal out here right now. We're trying just to get an idea what's going on for tomorrow, and we're not getting much results out of our efforts so far. So we're still plugging at it. I'm throwing my nasty thumper right now because with the water moving and the outgoing tide, a moving bait could work. Paul's got the soft plastics. I'm just going back and forth. I was actually breaking out a wacky rig Senko. I got it all going on and nothing. So just stay tuned. Let's see if we pull something off. If I don't get one skipping this underneath like that, how can I not catch one in there, Paul? Seriously. How can I at least get a tap from a bluegill or something? Nothing, dude. I can't believe it. I didn't get a bite. Told you. Right inside the creek. Good one?
Yep.
Do me a favor. As you can tell, is he swimming good? All right, Paul's got one. He's got his little ringworm working. I'm telling you, these tides are turning. Is it decent?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a good one. Oh, you got a good one. Fight him out of there. I would get him out of that wood big time. He finally showed himself. You got a good fish. Nice. Yeah, decent fish. Nothing big. Gave him a little fight. Bring him up here. Sweet. There's a keeper. All right, Paul's got 2 keepers for the day. Little ringworm action. Well done. All right, good. We got 2 fish in the past 5 minutes, which is a good sign. That little ringworm does a trick sometimes when nothing else does. So good. 2 keepers for Paul. All right, folks, you know it's tough times when the Ned rig comes out here on the James River. Paul and I have had a interesting day. Paul, you caught 4 fish total. He caught 3 keepers, which is good. I have hardly got a bite. I barely got a little nibble, guys. It's been rough out here. The tides were right. The weather's beautiful, but sometimes that weather being so nice works to your detriment. It's pretty as heck out here. High bluebird skies, a few puffy white clouds, high pressure. But tomorrow, the big change for the tournament. We've got showers coming in. We've got highs in barely 80 degrees. It's gonna be real interesting, folks. So wish me luck. Let's see how I do on the tournament tomorrow. You guys just be sure to check out Carl's Bait and Tackle. It's an awesome scene. The 2 links are below. One to check out the website and one to enter the sweepstakes. Just go ahead and treat yourself to an opportunity there to win $500 of free tackle from Carl's Bait and Tackle. So folks, as always, I appreciate you joining me. As always, I appreciate you subscribing. Until we meet again, over and out.